Okay, everybody, welcome back. This is going to be another QGIS tutorial video. I'm going to kind of step back from the material I covered in my last video, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Tiger data and its acquisition and what it's useful for and some of those kinds of things. For those of you who aren't familiar, Tiger/line shapefiles are products of the United States Census Department, and these are boundaries and features like roads, congressional districts, state boundaries. What else are we looking at? Counties, political subdivisions, military, federal, all kinds of stuff. So it's a very useful data set when you're trying to build your own maps, because there are certain places where you just can't travel. So large military bases would be my example. So wilderness areas, which are usually covered in a different set of shapefiles. Those are usually Forest Service or Department of the Interior. But either way, I really wanted to talk about Tiger because the Tiger data is a very large data set, and included in that data set is a lot of useful information, especially like roads, major highways, and so forth. So I'm going to hop right into it. What we're going to do is go to the Tiger Line shapefiles database. This is a pretty good interface. You can use the FTP if you just want to grab large numbers of files, which sometimes you may want to. I usually don't because it's a lot of stuff. So I will include the link to this in the description, so you don't have to dig for it too much. Typically, the year is 1 year behind, so you're not going to find something for 2020. Right now it's 2020. You're going to find something for 2019. So let's go ahead and leave that there. And useful stuff. We can do all lines, which is everything, which is a lot of different stuff, but not totally always useful. One of the things we are going to need, we're going to want roads. Now, there's a couple of different options here. We have all roads, which is literally almost every road in that state. If the county knows about that road, it's probably in this data set. So this can really require a lot of resources when you're trying to take and render something. So I highly recommend having it and using it at some level. Maybe if you're making a small area map or something like that. But for large-scale mapping, it's not totally useful. I'll show you what this data set looks like. Primary and secondary roads, if you're doing a large-ish map, is useful. But once again, render time just gets really long. The most useful one, kind of for sanity checking a lot of your work, is primary roads. This is going to be your interstate highways. Pretty much anything that was put in under the Highway Act. So, I-15, I-5, I-20, I-95, all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and download that. And yeah, it's only 40 megs. So we're going to go ahead and save that. I'm going to save that in Tiger 2019. Save. And then let's go ahead and grab the primary and secondary roads. Let's grab California, 12.5 megabytes, which isn't terrible. Let's grab Nevada, since Southern California and Nevada is kind of the region I'm most active in. And then let's grab the all roads. So let's grab that for county. Yeah, this gets pretty granular. So we're going to want, whatchamacallit, San Bernardino. And this has kind of an identifier on it that isn't great. So I'm just going to go ahead and put SBD in here for San Bernardino. And then, let's see, I'm also going to want Nevada. And let's go ahead and grab Clark. Let's just call this NV Clark. So we know what it is. And we'll probably also want to grab Lincoln County, which is just north. NV Lincoln. And let's also grab Kingdom of Nye. Okay, so that's all our road data. And the next stuff we're going to want is military. And these are other shapefiles, so this is going to be like just an area. Submit. There's only one file for it, which unfortunately can make your map a little bit big, but you still want it because you're not supposed to drive across these areas. 2019 US Mill. Go ahead and save that. Okay. Okay, so I've opened up QGIS, and we have an untitled blank project here. And first thing we're going to want to do is start populating it. So let's go ahead and start with the primary roads. Now these are all zip files. They contain a bunch of different information. The stuff you actually want to use is all the vector-based stuff. So you just want to select the first one, which is US primary roads.shp. This is a line shapefile. It's all vector-based. So, but you only need that one. The rest of these are useful at other levels, but I don't use them very much. So, but I do like to keep everything together as a zip file. So in that case, if I'm ever using a different program that wants one of these XML files, I have. And as you can see, there are all of the primary roads in the continental United States. And here we have all the primary roads in Alaska. And Hawaii. Okay, so here we have the Greater Los Angeles Basin. That's interesting. This is part of Interstate 58 right here. Only part of it is considered primary. And if we want to, we can go ahead and turn on the labeling. Well, it looks like we're going to use the full name. Okay, the next thing we're going to want to add, since we were kind of doing some contour work earlier, is let's go ahead and add the military. So, because part of that map, kind of up in this area here, is Fort Irwin. So that's going to be our major keep out area. And we just, like I said, we want to just select the top one, US Mill shapefile. So we got Fort Irwin, this is China Lake. This is the Nellis training range right here. This white spot in here is actually what's called the National Security Nuclear Test Site, or the Nuclear Test Site. So this is actually part of Nellis. It doesn't include the whatchamacallit, the NTS, Nevada Test Site. So it's a little bit of a bummer. I'm not sure which shapefile that one's part of. I think I've researched it in the past, and I don't remember if I have it or not. So next thing I'm going to do is mess around and kind of color code stuff here. I'm going to go into properties. I'm going to label it full name. I'm going to color code things. So the interesting thing about some of this stuff is some people don't know about all these various locations in here that are essentially off limits because of military activity. So, okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to step back. Actually, that's not what I need. I need to go in QGIS raster. Not that one. Let's grab our contour lines from the last video. So as you can see, Fort Irwin is boom right there. And we can also play with things being on top of other things. So, okay, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and grab the smaller roads file, back into Tiger 2019, and let's grab San Bernardino County roads. And let's go ahead and label. So this was the area we were talking about earlier. Here's Basin Road, Cronies Lake Road. We can see where this leads up into some other valleys here. And then it more or less goes right into Fort Irwin, which is going to be a no-go. Looks like there's a road that runs right along the outside of the base. It's interesting. And then there's the limitation of our line. Okay, so I'm probably going to go ahead and cut it there. That's kind of some basics of what you're able to look at and do with the Tiger data sets. It's really quite useful. You'll see, actually you'll start to see the render time when you get into the larger data set. So these larger data sets take longer and longer to load. Sometimes, if you need the precision, it's there. If you don't need it, you can turn it off. So, anyway, that's going to be all for this video. I'm going to show some stuff. In the next one, we're going to do some prettying up of our contours, do some labeling, and maybe take and import some GPX data and start to make some of our own maps. So thanks for watching. If you like it, give me a like. I'm always interested to hear feedback, especially on new video kind of stuff that I'm doing. And it'll be interesting. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon.